All right, how you doing? It's Chin the Artist, and I want to talk about imagery and how it affects how we think and what happens in our lives and how we view things in this world. Uh, Imagery, to me, is very effective. The aesthetics of a building, the aesthetics of painting, what someone may think when they see a certain image or see a certain color. Now, we know that color affects our lives, affects our emotions, our moods, and how we interpret things. So, with that being said, I wanted to touch on black imagery being absent in art. Now, you may know of how in the past you may see a painting of a slave being a servant to his master. Imagery would show the master and the surroundings and the slave in the background. How that affects us, how it affects us now, even though that context of American history is no longer in existence, subconsciously it still holds weight in how we view and how we react, and also how we grow as a people. So, in this context, we see that now a lot of African American or black artists are bringing the black image to the forefront. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, a month ago at the Mint Museum, and just going through the museum and looking at certain sculptures, glass blowing woodwork, paintings. I noticed that they had a section that showed black art in portions of the exhibit. Also here in Nashville at the Frisk Museum, a friend of mine, we went to just go to the museum and talk about the pieces that was there, that was represented. And as soon as you walk in, they had an area where local artists, local black artists or urban artists had displays. You know, they had opened up this section of the museum to showcase the local talent here in the city. And I found that very interesting that they put it at the beginning of the museum, which lets me know that the curator of that museum found it very important to showcase these young black artists as soon as you enter the exhibit. But this was before you paid and got in. So meaning these exhibits were put up and most likely the artists were not paid for having their pieces represented. But I found it interesting that they allow the public to view what talent or what hidden talent is in the city. Most museums don't do that. And being that we're in the South, you know, that's very surprising to me that they showed these pieces. Now, I was excited on one hand, and then on the other hand, it still was not enough representation of the black experience, especially being home to some of the sit-ins, some of the civil rights movements, which started and birthed that was started and birthed in this city. And some of those things were missing. Of course, some of these artists may have been young. You know, they may not have, you know, they may not have found it relevant to showcase those type of pieces. But I think that there's a piece of Nashville history that is missing in art today, or a piece of the civil movement missing in art today. a piece of the Black experience missing in art today uh, when it comes to identifying how I grew up or identifying what the Black experience is to me or others as well. So uh, I'm going to touch on that. And as we go out through my channel, you will see some of my pieces showing the Black experience as I know it, as I've experienced it, as I've studied, as I've witnessed, as I've watched, and as I've grown to understand those before me, those that are in the present, and also what I think the future for Black artists are now. Uh, so I hope you all stay and follow me through this journey. I will be explaining some of my pieces. I will be explaining why I chose to paint these pieces, what made certain pieces that I present significant, how I felt, what moved me, what initially invoked me to show or paint or create this certain imagery that I feel is missing in art today. And also throughout this channel, I will be touching on and hopefully have interviews with certain local artists. And I will be touching on why the Black experience is still absent in the whole genre, and why is there a fear, and why our story is not being told. Why is there a fear that, to me, it seems to be a fear, or it may be monetary. You know, it may be they're trying to keep us out of the loop per se of us making money. Now, I'm not educated in art history. Everything that I've studied online. I don't have any professional training. I've had some, some master courses when I was in high school, but I never furthered my education as far as art is concerned through higher learning. So everything that I've experienced is through self education and through what I paint and what I create. So I'm not a professional, as you may know, but just because I'm not doesn't mean my voice should not be heard. You know, everyone has a voice, and everyone has a story, and everyone has a situation. And I feel that it's very important that we continue to talk about our story and continue to talk about how imagery and how art affects our lives, because it does. You see it in magazines, you see it in newspapers, you see it in TV commercials, you see it in movies, you see it in cinema, you see it in museums, you see it in comics. Even the simplest advertisement on a piece of pantyhose box, the absence of the male in some commercials and some advertisements. When it comes to the black male, the absence of a black male. There was an instance where me and my wife went Walgreens, and we was looking at some products for babies, as far as like Similac or medication. And I noticed the same thing or same reoccurring theme, that even though this was a product for children, I should say, not babies, but for children, it never showed the black male. It always showed the mother and the child. And even in commercials, it never shows the black male. Absent. The black male is always absent. The black male is never there. So even in, just regular infomercials, commercials, where you would have black male, white wife, and mixed kids, or black mother and children, white husband. They are now starting to see speckles of black single fathers, but that's very little. So, you know, that's one topic I'll be touching on. I'm not going to get too deep into that. You know, I have to create a thesis and present it to you guys. But anyway, I hope you all enjoy my channel, and I hope that I could, you know, just spark up conversation. Is basically what I'm trying to do, just spark up conversation. This is going to be very lighthearted, nothing too serious, and see how I can help make a change in representation of the black image as well as the black male image, because all the imagery of black males is negative presented by the media and social media. So there you have it. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope to see you guys. I hope to hear from you guys. I hope you like my page, follow my page, share my page, subscribe. I will be bringing you more art as well as more topics. I will be visible in some, and some of these videos or vlogs or whatever you want to call them, you'll just hear my voice. But I look forward to this journey together.